A dad from Pflugerville is one of dozens hurt during the shooting in Odessa Saturday.
He's still in the hospital recovering from 3 gunshot wounds. KXAN's Alyssa Goard spoke with him, his wife, and children.
I said something to Daddy.
I love Daddy.
You got else?
I want him to come back home.
You want it to come back home?
Yeah.
Efe Obayegbona's children miss having him around to play hide and seek and watch TV. Efe had been working driving trucks through the Permian Basin for 2 years, coming home to Central Texas on the weekends.
He's an excellent dad. I can't think of a better dad for them.
The afternoon of the shooting, his wife, Evie Osaige, called his phone.
And a nurse answered and was like, "Oh, I'm taking care of Efe." I'm like, "Efe, what's going on?" He was like, "He was shot." I'm like, "Shot where?"
So she rushed to the TV.
That's when I saw the horrifying news. It was one of the victims that was shot while he was driving his truck.
Efe was one of the survivors.
Hi, Daddy.
Baby.
Via FaceTime, Efe says he remembers driving past what he thought was an accident.
The next thing I heard was just a rapid fire shot in my truck. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know where the bullet was coming from.
Bullets struck his wrist, hand, and lungs. Strangers came to his aid, and a sheriff's deputy drove him to the hospital in a patrol car.
In 1,000 years, I would never thought this stuff would happen to me.
He couldn't talk very long. He's short of breath as his lungs recover. Eva is grateful her husband is alive and mourns those who didn't make it.
America is supposed to be one of the safest countries in the world. And now it's becoming so horrified that shooting is becoming a norm.
More than a decade ago, she and her husband came to the U.S. from Nigeria for better opportunities.
It needs to stop. Innocent life, people working hard, people that are productive members of the society are being killed for nothing.
She prays for healing for her husband and for the country.
There needs to be change.
Alyssa Goard, KXAN News.
Efe left the ICU yesterday. There's no telling how long he will be in the hospital. You'll find more information about him at KXAN.com. We have a story there. We also have a link to his family's fundraiser to cover his medical expenses. They've already reached more than half of their $50,000 goal.
On a state level, the governor is holding a series of roundtables to discuss what more can be done to curb mass shootings. On a city level, Austin Mayor Steve Adler tells us that city council members are lobbying state lawmakers and federal leaders for change. Members also formed a working group to see what more the city can do.
Unfortunately, many of the things that we would like to do are beyond our power and control because the state has assumed those powers. And the state having assumed those powers, it needs to act.
The mayor also reacted to Governor Greg Abbott's tweet last night. Abbott wrote, "We're working on a legislative package right now. Expedited executions for mass murderers would be a nice addition."
I would rather us be focusing on stopping people from shooting, you know, and I think that's where our focus needs to be. We should have red flag laws so that somebody that has a criminal background can get guns, that we're keeping guns away from people that would pose and present the greatest potential for horrific acts like this. I think that's where our focus should be.